All right. So, very quickly, let's just do some of what we didn't cover last week. I have to do a lot of rushing. So let me open my VMware. My VMware is open. Let me share my screen. Okay. So confirm that you can see my screen too. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to be looking at vectors, and I think that's the only thing we didn't cover. Yes, vectors. That's what we didn't cover. So that's what we're going to be looking at. No, my eye is not clear.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. I thought um this extra 30 minutes was to make up for the first class, the Eclipse class we did not finish.
Um, is that what everyone thought? I thought you said you wanted me to complete. I asked someone, so I was saying that would you like me to complete the first R class with you since that's the foundation? And then you said yes. So I was asking if this 30 minutes is okay. But I was saying that Emmanuel would cover it because Emmanuel will be teaching you today. Now Emmanuel will cover the issues you had with the Eclipse class. Is that what, are we clear on that one? Or I want to hear someone else's opinion. Like what did you get from me last week?
Actually, I was thinking we want to complete the outcomes. Actually, the conclusion last week. This week, yeah.
Yeah, that was what I thought. That's what I said rather. So what I'll do is I'll talk to Emmanuel. For the Eclipse, using the Eclipse session for that part, towards the end, there might need to be some updates on the how will I put it now? On the system for you to be able to complete that exercise. So towards the end, you might not be able to complete it if you don't have that update. And you know this is VMware, so updating your VMware would not be good. It will crash it probably because it's a virtual machine. So towards the end, you might need to update to complete your task. But then you can do it up until the end yourself. I've told you that you should follow the manual. You can complete this task up until the end yourself. The only thing that I want Emmanuel to help us with is the part where some people cannot see, there's something they can't see. Probably they're adding external jazz parts. They can't see that part. So that's the part I really want Emmanuel to help me to check. But for completing the exercise, I've told us that we should try to complete it ourselves. It's you just follow. If you follow the manual, you will complete it yourself. But towards the end, you might not be able to complete it if you have the same thing that my VMware has. So my VMware is not completely up to date, and you cannot update it because it will crash. Because it's a workstation, it's a virtual workstation. So if you notice, whenever mine pops up, I just tell them remind me later. So that's about the Eclipse. So let's try to complete on our own. So it's towards the last part. So you probably get the knowledge of everything, even if you can't complete. And if you can't complete, it's good for you. It means that your VMware is up to date to be able to complete that task. But then it was only the last screen on my lab work that I could not get, and that's because I cannot do some updates, and I don't have Eclipse on my system because I don't need it at the moment. I would have just gotten Eclipse on my system to show us that. So please try to complete it on your own. Emmanuel will attend to those people that had issues with seeing the external jazz part. I'll call him to help us with that one. So please try to understand. We cannot cover everything. We just have to cover the parts we can. So let me quickly just go into today's class for R. Okay. So manipulating vectors in R. Okay, before manipulating vectors in R, I was telling us that about data, how to load in data. So you have inbuilt data sets in R. For example, if I say data, if I do this, all my data sets will come up. All data sets I have in R will come up, right? So I can just load in data tooth growth. There's a data called tooth growth. It's somewhere here. Tooth growth. So tooth growth. I don't know why it's going twice. I want to see something. Oh, so my R interface is coming in twice. I don't know why. Let me this is very funny. Let me restart it. Sorry about that. I don't know why it's coming in twice. So this is very funny. So you're just going to ignore the fact that this thing is actually loading twice. I don't know why it's coming in twice. I don't know what the problem is. Just ignore it and just follow along. Okay, so data toothbrush. I said toothbrush. Wow. Tooth growth. Okay. So tooth growth. So data tooth growth is loaded into our workspace. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Let's set our working directory to where we want before we start, which is home /hd user /desktop / graduate training. Please let me know if you can't hear me or you can't see me. Okay, so there's supposed to be something here. Yep, which shows it's closed at that end. And then, so our working directory is set to desktop / graduate training, which is good enough. So now let's load this data into this working directory. So data, I don't know why this is coming up twice. It's very funny. Tooth growth. And I don't want to close my VMware and start it again because of time. So we've loaded data tooth growth into our directory graduate training. So now it's loaded into our directory. So for example, I told you that you could check the summary if you want. Summary tooth growth, and this is the summary. So it tells you a lot of things about your data. So you could also plot tooth growth. So this is the visual for tooth growth. Now let's see what tooth growth looks like. So let's use view. Notice the capital V. With small letter V, it won't work. So R is case sensitive. So if it gives a function which has a capital letter, that way. So tooth growth. So let's see what tooth growth looks like. So tooth growth has length, SUPP, and those. All right. So we said that it's had to plot it it has to plot this kind of graph for us because we have three columns. So we have 3 columns. So it has to plot this kind of graph for us. So what it did was, let me explain what this means. This is len, SUPP, and those. So for len, it plots. So when you see this, okay, these are not graphs. These are your axes. So this shows that it's plotting whatever is on top of it or by the side of it, whether on top or bottom or by the side. So it's plotting len against SUPP. It's like a matrix. So just see my arrow. So it's plotting len against SUPP, right? And len is, if you see len here, len is a number, and SUPP is a text. So it's going to have numbers here with each of the text plotting against the numbers here. So len by SUPP. That is what this graph means. Now, this graph at this end means len by SUPP2. So it's similar, but it's just that your X and your Y axis will change. So this len will become your Y axis and SUPP will become the X axis. So that's just it. While for this one, len will be the X axis and then SUPP will be the Y axis. You all know that X axis is the one below or horizontal, Y axis is the vertical one. Same thing with this one. If you go to your extreme left, it's len by dose. Same thing with this. For this one, go to your extreme end to dose by SUPP. This one to SUPP by dose, and this one len by dose. So that's what this graph is showing us. So because we have 3 variables, that's why we have this kind of graph. If we had 2 variables, we would have just the normal X and Y graph. Any questions before I continue? Any questions, please? I'm going into vectors, so I want you to ask questions if you have any.
Sorry. Hello.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
I'm here.
wanted to ask. I don't know. This tooth growth file or this the document, is it present in the working directory?
Exactly what I just said. It is present in R. It's a built-in data set in R, right? And then we loaded it into our working directory to be able to make use of it. If you don't load it with data, with the data function, you wouldn't be able to make use of it. Okay, let me show you something. See, this is cheek weight, right? Just check something. Let me do plots cheek weight or something. Plots. So this is present in R, but it is not yet present in my working directory. Oh, it actually plotted it. Okay. So this is it. So let me explain. Sorry, let me come back. So it will plot it, right? But it is not going to save into your working directory. You want to be able to save your files or the data you've worked with in your working directory. That is why I had to do the data into cheek weight. So let me check something. Let me do I don't want to use plots. I want to use okay, I think we should be able to view it. Okay, we can view it, we can plot it. There's something you can't do when you don't load your data into your working directory. Number one. Sorry, let me come again on that. Number one, it wouldn't save your file. So let me show you in here. Let me navigate to. I want to be very clear now. Let me navigate to desktop / graduate training. So let me go to graduate training. Graduate training, right? Okay. So let me do LS. No, not LS. I want to see. Oh no, I'll do it from R. I want to see all my data in R. So I have to do it from R. My object rather. It's an object. Someone trying to come in. Okay. So it's an object. Your shell, your terminal will only show you files. So I want you to show me objects. Okay. So see tooth growth here. We loaded Titanic yesterday, if you remember. If on Wednesday, if you remember, we loaded Cars 93. So to be very clear now, let me come again. When you load in your data, it gives you the opportunity to be able to store your data into your working directory, such that even when you go into the working directory next time, you'll be able to use it. But if you do not load it into your working directory, you can just check stuff on it. You can check what data is about. You can check you can plot visuals, you can check the data, but it wouldn't exist as an object in your working directory. That's just it. So that's the benefit of loading. That's the benefit of loading your data. So it wouldn't exist as an object, and then the things you do on this data would not save into this working directory. It wouldn't save into the working directory. So you have to load in your data. When you perform operations on it, you are able to save whatever you perform on it into that working directory. But when you do not load in your data, you can see details about it, but then whatever you perform on it wouldn't be saved into your working directory because the data was not loaded into your current working directory. So that is it. That is it. So that's the benefit of loading your data. You can see things about it. You can plot graphs and see what it looks like, but it wouldn't save whatever work you've done on it as an object in your current working directory. So as you can see here, the data is not saved here. So that's just it. That's just it, yeah. Any other question? Okay, any other question? I want to try something. I want us to go into vectors. That's why. Okay. You know what? Let's go into vectors. I'll show us something more on why you need to say load in your data before you start working on it. I'll show you more examples on why you need to do your data, maybe some other time. But I want us to really do these vectors today. So let's just go into vectors. So vectors, this is where you represent your vectors. For example, 12, 30, 15. So the C with the open brackets shows you that you're representing a vector. And then this is what it looks like. Oh God, this is repeating. I don't like the way it's repeating. Okay, so this is it. So this is what it looks like. So when you load in your, when you want to save a file or you want to input some values as a vector, you use C, the C function, C with the brackets. So this is a vector now. So you have this as a vector. So you could also do it and save it to a variable and say C 12, 30, 15. So you have saved it to a variable A, and when you check variable A, it gives you this value. For those that are just coming in, my R is bringing out stuff twice. So just follow along and ignore the way it's bringing it out 2 times. Just ignore that part and let's just follow along. So you can also perform arithmetic operations on vectors. So I can say A plus 5. I get everything 5 added to them. Okay, so I can get everything with 5 added to each of the elements of the vector. I could also perform trigonometry functions on my vector to get this. So that's about performing function mathematical operations on your vector. I could also do statistics. So let's say I have another vector B -1. Please, that person should mute herself. -3, 5. Okay. So what did I do? Okay, I want to assign vector B. Right? Okay, C. Okay, I forgot the C. So C. Okay. So and I say what is B? So this is my B vector. So I could say what's the minimum of A or what's the minimum of B? Minimum value in B. To give me the minimum value. I could even say what's the minimum value in both A and B. It will give me my value. I could also say what is the quantile of A. Give me my values and so on. So I could also get standard deviation, variance, and so on and so forth. So there are also other things you can do. You can assign strings to. You could say A.
So please, can you expand the console tab?
Can I? Can I do what?
Expand your console.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it's can. This thing can expand. You mean expand?
Okay, guys, just
or...
Just to say, you can actually zoom your screen on Teams. So you can zoom your screen to the console. So you won't have to. I'm just saying for anybody that prefer that.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I could also assign strings A, B, and C. And what is A? So that's about assigning vectors. I can also check the structure of my vector. So str of A, what's the structure of A? The structure of A, it's a character and it has values from 1 to 3. So this is 1, 2, 3. So if I say A, so this is how to derive values from my vector. A square brackets 2, it will give me B. So this is how I can generate values from my vector. I could also say I want A from 1 to 2. It give me A and B. So that's where I can derive values from my vector. So that is about assigning values to vector and deriving values from my vector. All right, so let's go into, now you can also pass a vector to the names function. Now there's something they call the names function. So if I have, say I have numbers as my variable, and I say I want to assign this vector to it, say vector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I've assigned this to my vector, this to my variable numbers. So I have this vector in my variable number. So let me just check. This is my vector, right? So I now want to be able to assign a key to the values. So I have values in my vectors, but I want to be able to assign a key to my vectors, to my values. I want to be able to assign a key to my values. So it will be like a key value pair. So this is, let's say this is the value and I want a key. So maybe I want to name them. So I'm going to use the function names to name my values. So names, then I would say names of what? What is my variable? I want to get the names of numbers. So names is the function. I want to get names of numbers, and these are the names I want to assign to numbers. So it takes it one after the other. So we give the first name to the first value in numbers, the second name to the second value in numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I've assigned these names to my vector numbers. So here, so I've assigned them. So now I want to be able to get what is in my numbers now. So I want to see what numbers is, because now I'm supposed to see my numbers with their names. So I'll get my numbers with their respective names. So instead of doing this A square bracket 2, which just shows the position of my values in the vector, I could do numbers into whatever is the key here. So instead of doing, of course I can do, let me show you. I can do this, right? And I will get 2. But now I just want something that would be more defined. So they're saying they want 2s. They want all 2s, and I want to be able to gather all the things that represent 2. So I will just do numbers into 2. Oh, sorry. Let me use it's supposed to be a string. So string, let's not forget string 2. So it's going to give me 2. So I don't want I want to be more defined. I don't want to have to know which position it is in or where it is and so on. I just want to be able to, it's not supposed to bring it twice, it's just once. So I don't want to be, I have to be thinking of what position it is and all. I just want to know the name and be able to read out whatever is contained in the name. I could assign names to my variables. So that is about assigning names to variables. So I could also do something. I could get a sequence of numbers. I could get a sequence of numbers. So say I want to get a sequence of numbers from 40 to 47, and then I want to sequence of numbers, right, in a vector, and I want to skip it by 1. It's going to give me this. So 40 up until 47 and skip by 1. If I wanted to skip by 2, I'll just do by equal to 2, sequence 40 to 47, skip by 2, and to give me this. Yeah, so that is about using sequences. And then I could also do something they call a reverse vector. So you all know I can do 1 to 3 and get 1 to 3. I could also do 5 to 1, and I will get 5 up until 1. So this is called a reverse vector. Reverse vector. So that's about reverse vectors. Any questions? Please, before I continue rushing. Any questions? I can scroll back up. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Please, could you go back to that line of code, SEQ? What does that mean?
SEQ. So I
Yeah.
said sequence is for generating sequence of numbers. So you can sequence of numbers, yes, in vector form. So the way it is now, it is in a vector format. So you want to generate a vector, but then you just want to use the sequence function because you don't want to write 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and so on and so forth. That's so much wastage of so much time. So you have a sequence of numbers. You know, geometric sequence, arithmetic sequence, they follow an order and they are skipped by something, or they are raised to the power of something, and so on. So this is the simplest form of sequencing. So I want to find a sequence of numbers, and I want them to skip by a particular value. So I did sequence 40 to 47 skip by 1. You see what it gave me? 40 to 47 skip by 2. So I have 40, 42, 44, 46. It can't skip by 2 anymore. So I have to leave 47 has to be left out, and there's no 48. So that's about generating sequences. So instead of having to generate a vector and writing something to something, or having to write so much of numbers, and you want to skip by a particular value, you can use the sequence function. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So lastly, time is already up. The last thing I'm going to teach is plotting. So I want to plot a set of values. So let's say plot values. I want to plot a set of values, and what I want to plot values is my variable. So I want to assign this vector to my variable, vector 2, 3, 5, to my variable plot values. So I've assigned this vector to my variable plot values. So I now want to find a bar plot. I want to create a bar plot for my variables and for my vector plot values. So I'm going to do bar plots into plot values. So it's going to give me a bar plot. So here you have 2, 3, 5. So if I want to assign values to here, so I'm just teaching us the basics of plotting. So if say I wanted to assign values to here, I would do the same thing I did before. I'll assign values to 2, 3, and 5. And the function I would use, if you remember, I cannot wait for you people to answer me, but then I would use the names function, like I said. So it's going to be names, plot values. So assigning names to vector plot values. I'm going to assign A, B. Oh God. Okay, what? A, B, C. So now I've assigned names. Oh,
You didn't have to see again.
C. Thank you very much. Just realized that too. So C and here. So I've assigned names to my vector plot values. Now let me bar plot it again. Here. So now names are assigned to it and it's more defined. So that's about assigning names. If I just want to generate a series of numbers on a bar plot, I will do bar plots, say 1 to 5, and just generate a bar plot with five variables for me, and just start from 1, 2, 3 up until 5. So this is just generating a random bar plot. And let me see what else. Okay, lastly, if I have a vector that looks like this, we'll be out of this my session in 5 minutes. If I have a vector that looks like this, is Emmanuel there? Emmanuel, don't be angry, just in case you are there. So I have 1, 3. Let's say there's a null value. So this is going to be applicable in real life problems, but we're just learning the basics to be able to understand how to eliminate some values and so on. So I have null values in my vector, for example. So there's null value NA, there's NA in my vector, and I want to find the sum of A. It wouldn't give me any value because NA cannot be added, and it has to add everything together. So it's going to give me NA. It's going to give me NA. And if I want to check if there are actually null values in my, maybe I had a very long vector, and I want to check if there are null values in my vector, I will do is there NA in vector A? This is what this is saying. So is there NA in vector A? So it's going to tell me no, this one is not null value, this one is not a null value. The third one is a null value, which shows that it's true. The fourth one is not, and the fifth one is not. So you could use this in real life sessions where you have a huge volume of data. I want to know where the null values fall in. So this could be useful. With more advanced, as you get more advanced in R, you will know how useful this could be to you. So let's say I wanted to sum A and skip the null values. So I'll do A. I'm summing A, but I'm going to impute a function which is na.rm. So I remember I told you that rm is used for removing objects. If you remember, you can use rm to remove objects from your workspace. So rm is for removing, and I want to remove anywhere that na is true, and I want it to add the rest. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to add them, remove this na, and add the rest of them. So that's what this does. na.rm. It removes every null value. I could also do the mean function, and it gives me the mean values and skip the NA that is there. So here it also gives me the mean. Then another thing I could do is I could assign it to another value, say new A. So new underscore A, something like that. And tell new underscore A to omit. I can tell it to give me A, but omit any null value. So this is what this is going to do. Give me A, but omit any null value. So it's going to do this. So now, when I check what new A is, it omits my null value, so it gives me this. So this is just explaining other things, but then it gives me this, which is omitted, and I can perform anything I want to perform on this. So it's telling me where the action started from after 3, and then it's telling me what it did. It omitted the value, which is the class. So that is that about introducing you to R. I took this class because I feel like this is the beginning, this is the scratch. It's on the basis of this that you build all other knowledge. Sometimes you might not be able to conclude the class. You might have to go and read up the rest on your own. But thank God I was able to complete the basics of what R is all about. And then I hope that if you handle your manuals or take hold of your manuals, you'll be able to do similar things that I've done. So it's just about reading your manuals and Googling and going online. So any short question for me? So I'll hand over to Emmanuel, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just want to ask. quite fast. I just is there any command that can help you check for what other commands can do? Like something like in MATLAB, when you press help print, it tells you what print does, like what you use print to do. So if is there
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that in R? Like that?
yes, there is, and I told us yesterday. I remember I mentioned it yesterday. There is. So if I want to check for what sum, I use two question marks. Sum. And it brings up what sum does. Okay, this searches for the word sum. So let's do help sum. Yeah, so this searches for the word sum in any in the whole of R, while this tells you what sum can do. So this is what sum can do. And I also told us something that you can check for example. You can say example sum. So give me an example of what sum can do. You can see it's going to give me an example. Look at any.rm that we just did. See, so I can check for an example of what sum can do, and I can also check for where what function sum performs. See, this is the details of what sum can do. So yeah, any other questions?
Thank you.
Please, I have a question. Thank you for the class. Actually, I was doing something yesterday night, and actually, it taught us in the last class how to save, but I saved the first one. So after, I want to continue with another script. So I was trying to save, but it's bringing out error. I don't know whether I can use this one you did now to save your
You mean
to save the
save? You mean
script.
save your history
No, data. How dot data?
data? So it's
Yes.
only the variables you save into data that saves. Okay, is it when you there if you have some specific variables, you save them. If you have a data you're working on, you save them, and you have to load in your data into your workspace for it to save into your workspace. So like I said yesterday, when you want to save, you have to specify what you want to save into your R data. You cannot save what is on the console. Okay, you cannot save what's on the console. You can only save from here. So maybe I would try to start using this place, the source. So it's on the source you can actually save a data.r, right? Saving with r.r data saves whatever variable you actually specify to be saved. So say I say save a comma b comma file equals to whatever location it is you want to save your file in, say graduate training or something. Yes, say let's say, or no, I mean the name of your file. So let's do the name of your file. The name of your file is maybe let's say abc.r data. So this is the name of your file. You could also specify the location if you want. So you can say, I want you to save in /home /hd user /graduates desktop /graduate training. It's still the same thing. We're already in this work directory, so we don't need to specify all of this. All of this is not compulsory, but I'm just saying, say you were not in the work directory, but you want to save something to this work directory. This is what you do. Now, this abc.r data only saves these two objects, objects A and B. So it saves data in these two objects, A and B. So it doesn't save your console. You can't save all of these things on your console. You can't save all of these things, all of this input and result. You can't save them. So you can only save specific objects that will be useful for you, and you can save your history. And I explained how to save history yesterday. I explained that it's telling me error, blah blah blah. Okay, so I explained how to save your history. I told you how you can save your history. I said the way you can save your history is save history. Go to your manual, you'll see this there. Just check this up. You can save your history with this. So when you save your history, when you come back here, if you remember, we saved an history yesterday. So let me show you. We saved this file yesterday. So if I want to check the content of first history, it will help you if you are trying to remember the commands you used, the commands that worked and that you used. See, it's going to show you your history. So you can save your history. Okay, you can save your history. And then, but to save what's on the console, no. You can save specified objects into a particular folder. That is very possible. You can also save your history, but you cannot save the console. You can save what you work on here. And we're going to, maybe we can start looking into that. Maybe we can start looking into that tomorrow. So say I write some things here and here and run them and all. I can now say, save file. There's a way to save my file. I'm trying to remember. Save file. So you can save your file as R data. So we're just doing this for the purpose of practice. So we can start writing our script here. Now you know how to use the console well. We can start writing our script here. So you'll be able to save your data with the .r extension. Any other questions? Emmanuel has to take over. Do you understand?
Yeah, thank you very much. I understand.
Okay, you're welcome. So yeah, so that's just it. That's that about saving your files. Any other question? We're done with vectors, and I was able to conclude the basics of R, but henceforth you might not be able to complete the whole session in a class, which shows that you have to come up to speed and read up. So thank you, everyone. Hi, Emmanuel. Emmanuel. Okay, Emmanuel. Sorry for good morning. Sorry for taking 15 minutes of your time. I just wanted to conclude that session because it's the basic.
I was even
sure that
a bit late.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. So Emmanuel, please. Some people are telling me they have issues with locating external jars in the Eclipse workbook book. You for the completion of the assignment, I've told them that they should go to their manuals. But then for that locating external jars, there's something that is not coming up. So whoever has that problem should maybe specify or something. Emmanuel, what do you think?
So I'm going to show my screen now. It's not something that is difficult. Even I've taught Adewumi. Adewumi know how to do that now. Adewumi. Sorry, I said Adewumi. Adedeji Adeto. Adedeji knows how to do that. But I can share my screen and you have the VMware on your PC. You have the VMware on now.
Me?
Yes,
I do. No, I don't have problems with it. Like, you know, when you open the external jars something, add external jars, she's saying that
go there.
There's no
go there.
Okay, I should go there now. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I believe you have it open.
Right. Yeah, I'm opening it, but I just don't know. Okay, we should be able to practice with something.
So sometimes if they want to add external jars, the location they are supposed to find it, they cannot see it directly. They have to look for it. So it's in their lab manual, the location, they have to follow the location as it is in the lab manual. So let me see. You see USSR,
but that's
local,
not the problem.
Hadoop.
That's not the problem, Emmanuel. That's not the problem. Please indicate talk if you were the one. If you were the one that told me you could not locate something, please explain what you meant by that. It's not the location that was the problem. I even remember that it was Uber that taught us last that time.
I was the one, man. Yeah, it has been sorted.
It has been sorted. Oh, see. So there's no problem again. Or is there any other problem, everyone? I think the only issue is completing the exercise. And I told them that they should complete it on their own. But Emmanuel, my VMware, probably I cannot update my VMware. So towards the end, I was able to see the final result. So were you able to get your final result at any point in time with this particular lab exercise?
Yes.
Your final results where it reduces everything, maps and reduces everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So please, maybe if there's still some spare time, you can help out. But then mine was complaining that I needed to update something, and I do not want to update. So I don't want my VMware to crash. Yes.
Okay.
So please, if you can help them go through that, I'll appreciate. So I think that's all. Since editorial solved that issue, that's all about that. Enjoy your day and learn something new today. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
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 So hello everyone.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you guys doing now? I can see you guys have done a lot of things today now. You don't need to have a class today again now. Have you now? What do you guys think? You need to have a
Yes.
class.
Someone please continue. Continue.
And now you guys, I don't know why they are taking you guys this part. This part is too basic for you guys. You guys should don't just go to advanced analytics and just
You're very right, sir.
I'm not guys.
No,
You cannot speak for everyone.
no, let's go back to the basics. It's better that way.
All right, so I want to share my screen now.
Thank you, sir.
I believe you can see. You should see my screen in 1 minute. Yeah. So let's go and talk about some stuff about what we have for today. What we have for today is reading and exporting data sets to R. So I won't spend time here. I will like finish this in 30 minutes. So I know it's too basic. So let's just go to the practical class and try and get to do something. But what we are going to be doing in practical class, we should be able to like summarize it here. So what is today's objective in this slide? Yeah, import data from external sources into R, export to external sources from R. So you can see my screen, right?
Yes,
Hello?
sir, I can see your screen.
So this command we are seeing here, C in a closed bracket. So this is like a concatenating kind of function. So this concatenates your items together. So if I have this C into bracket item dot one, comma item dot two, item dot one, item dot two is just an object. So it's nothing special. It's not probably a method. It's just an object. So I want to concatenate this 1, 2, 3 up to n items. So this can help me do that. Like it's like a vector. It's going to concatenate and return it as a vector. So this guy is like a vector. So I can also assign this guy. If I should write this guy is on the console. If you see this greater than sign, I'm writing this. So I know you guys are familiar with Python.
I can't see your screen, no. Okay, I can see it now.
God negotiate us. So if you are writing on Python console, if I write 1 + 1, then I enter, you are going to see the results immediately as 2. So if I should, as this is on the console, if I should just click enter, you are going to see the result, the output beneath. So, but if I should do this, I'm assigning this vector to an object called sample.name. So I'm assigning to an object. You know what an object is? Just like let's say a variable. So a variable is temporary storage location for particular item you are naming, whether it's a vector, whether it's a matrix, whether it's a list, anything. So if I should run this second line of code, it's just going to save it to this guy. So if you want to call this item, you have to call sample.name. Then it's going to list it as you are going to see what is inside. Now, I believe Abisola has done justice to what a vector, a matrix, a list, and a data frame is. I should done that for you guys.
No. When you talk about
No,
vectors,
just vectors.
Okay, she talked about vectors. Oh, let me see. Okay, if that's the case, now vector is a one-dimensional kind of array. So it can only be a column or a row vector, as you guys know. Now, and vector can only take one kind of data type. So if you are putting in numbers, let it be strictly numbers. If you are putting in the list, let it be strictly list. Now, in the case whereby you put in a number and a list in a vector, R is going to automatically reduce or transform your numbers into list, because if I should write a vector now, maybe I concatenate a vector, say the item side is 1, 2, 3, then I put another item called hello world. Now, in your church mind, there's no way you can convert hello world to numbers. So the only way you can make that vector work is to convert 1, 2, 3 to a string, because I can actually do that. It's actually possible. So converting hello world to a number that you can perform calculation with is not possible. So since vector can only take one data type, how is going to convert those 1, 2, 3 numbers that you concatenated with a string to string automatically, because vector cannot have two types of data type. Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello, am I still communicating? Now, in case of
anything that we don't get, we could see during the practicals.
Is what?
I think you should continue. Anything that we don't get, we can see it in the practicals.
Okay, let's see. So another one is matrices. And matrices is a two-dimensional array. You have the rows and the columns. Now, a matrix also cannot take two type of data types. Only one. Is there a what is it? A number or a string or the like. So what about a list? Now, a list is the one that can take rubbish. Let me put it that way. A list can take anything you put inside it. It's just like a basket now. A basket. If I put organ inside a basket now, and I come there another day and put money inside it, you think the basket is going to reject my money? No. So that's like a list. It's just a container where you can put something. So to make a list really make sense, it's just like you have to group them. Okay, let's say I have a list that contains a set of numbers, then I can have another item inside that you think a set of foods. I can have another thing, maybe it's the set of countries in the world. Then that's how a list can take in anything. And you can also index its vectors, maybe matrices, maybe lists, you can index them. So now let's talk about data frame. Data frame is just like your spreadsheet kind of data, your Excel kind of data. Now, in data frame, it can take two types of object, any type of data types, but each columns must have a unique data type. For a column 1 now, if it's numbers, it's going to be purely numbers. For column 2, if it's a character, it's going to be purely character. You can't mix a character with a number in a data frame. And also in a data frame, all columns must have the same length. All columns must have the same length. In case whereby the length of a column A does not match with the column B, let's say column A is of length 6 and column B is of length 4. So I think R is going to automatically fill in the missing values for column 4 that is not up to, column B that is not up to length 6. So the remaining two values that does not have up to 6 items going to be filled with NA, that is not available, like a non kind of value. So that's how those things work. So we can also see how this works when we go for the practical session. Okay, then move to the next practical explain this. So entering numerical items as data. So we call data one. This data one has already been received, as we can see in the last slide. So I can just call it, since I'm on the console, call it then. I have this result. Then data 2. You can say I can also append an object to a vector. So this is going to concatenate every of these with this number. So it's going to update it to this place. So if I should call data 2 is going to be the combination of this and this together. Okay, that goes that way. Text values can be imported and manipulated in R as follows. Now, if I have day 1, because you can see is a vector of characters. It's only one character I can take. So day 1 is this. So I can update it and okay, day 1 is up to Friday. So I'll just put day 1 is concatenate day 1 and Friday, because it's only Friday that is left to be in day 1. So I can add up Friday to day 1 and call it again. So I can assign No, as this has been done here now, if I want to call day one is not going to call this guy anymore. So this guy have overridden this guy. So if you are calling day one is not going to remember this guy again. It's going to call this particular one he did. So it's going to remember the last operation performed on the object or variable. Okay. Using the scan command. So using the scan command is like the scan command can be used to enter text into data sets. This command can also be used with the clipboard to take data from files as follows. So this guy gives you the flexibility of maybe so instead of doing C into brackets, whatever. Now you just come in. Then if you do this will enable you for you to type whatever you want to type. So if you want to put 1, 2, 3 to 7. So it will save you the stress of typing compared to this guy. So I'm going to see how that works also. So scan what is going to be inside the character. So you type whatever thing you want to type, then it's going to be saved, or it's just going to be return a result since you are not assigning it to a variable here or an object. So, but this the one that we called here is the one they actually created in the previous slide here, this guy. Okay. Also, so using the scan command to make data, using the clipboard to make data. So we also see scan command enables you for you to type anything you want to type, like we are working on an Excel. So the steps is to import data are, if the spreadsheet data is in the form of numbers, blah, 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 simply type the command in R as usual before switching to the spreadsheet containing data. So I write the cells in the spreadsheet and copy them in the clipboard, blah, blah, blah. So this is like if you use this scan command, I want to enter a kind of spreadsheet kind of data. So this guy is going to give you a view. Now, there's the left top corner of your R Studio. So if you do this, it's going to open like a spreadsheet format for you at the left hand corner, then left top. So you can maybe just copy the data in Excel and just paste it there, and you move on with your data entry. Then that's all. So say enter a blank line to complete the data entry. It's just like so if you feel that okay, I've finished entering my data, you just click on enter to go to the next line, then enter. Then it goes to assume that you are done with data entry. Then you're going to save your data and move on. Okay. So so use the scan command to create the data set name data3. Okay, and following values. So it contains now add the values 6 and 9 at the end of the data set. You can do that. You can use scan command to create this. Then if you want to add values to the end of the data set, you don't have to go about that. You can just append. So using the concatenating function, that's C into brackets. Yeah. So the scan command can be used to retrieve data from a CSV file as follows. So using the scan command to retrieve data from a file name is equals to scan, then sep equals to this. So this will enable you to, it's going to understand that your data that you're entering is separated by command and all that. You can use scan to also pick up the data set from your file explorer. So in this space, in this brackets, you're going to put like file.choose then. I'm going to see all of that when we start the Pascal class. So consider the following text that is available in a CSV text bar. So use the command to enter the preceding text, the data set name one. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. So this scan command can be used to retrieve data file in the memory of the system as follows. So this guy shows the syntax of the scan command to import data from a file in the system memory. So this guy, you can use it to pick up a data in the particular one. So scan file, then you are going to specify the file name, and it can also prompt you to go and pick up the file. So you just have to specify a file dot choose inside this bracket. You are familiar with this command anyways. This command is to guess your current working directory. This one is to save working directory. So you have saved working directory to desktop, so it has changed to desktop anyways. But this doesn't actually work with the view sense. They just go through this anyway. There's a way you have to define the path of the directory. So let's move to the next slide. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was talking about. So this guy, if you should write this command, it's going to prompt, like you're going to do something like this. So allow you click, it's going to show you something like this, your file explorer. Then you can go to the location where you save the file. Let's say it's under downloads. Then you just click on it, then load it, then open. So that's what this guy can do for you. Okay. The read.csv command is to read a CSV kind of file. You can also use to read a text file. Read.table is mostly used to read the kind of CSV file. Sorry. Read a TXT file. Implementing read.delimiter command for reading from tabs separated value files like TSV. So read.table is more like a generalized that can take in, it has flexibility compared to this guy, compared to read.csv. So okay. I think you have talked about missing values in data files. You're going to say like as NA not available. You know how to fix that. So let's see what they have in the next slide. You know how to go about this. You know how to set up in directory. Yeah. So look at this now. Look at what I'm talking about. This is to save a particular, maybe look at this guy now. Did I? No, I didn't see that. So let's say you imported the data or you have made some manipulation and everything, then you want to save that guy to a particular folder or to save that particular folder as a particular file name. So you do a write, you can do write.table, you can do write.csv to show that it's a CSV file. So write.table, then specify the separator, the tab separated value. So that's what this one means. Row names equals false. You don't want it to return row name. You are going to say, oh, what that means. You know, if you read data set into R, you are going to have the default row names is going to be like, I think in Python it starts from 0, then 1, 2, 3. Then in R it starts from 1. So if you don't want it to return those row index, so you have to specify false here. So it saves it to this file name. Then file equals to clipboard. Maybe the file is save the file to clipboard. So you can have to see the file in your left hand corner of the list of the R studio. So once the results are completed in R, they need to be used in reports or other sources, and the time needs to be exported out of R. So the results can be exported using the write.csv command. You can use write.csv command in the special case of write.table command. The command can be used as follows. So this is used with the following arguments and all that. So, okay, saving your work in R. I think Abisola has done justice to this. Now, the created data items and results will need to be saved to the disk in order to work on them later. Where methods can be used to save the work. The most popular ones are saving to disk, saving to text file. Now, data can be saved to files on disk using the save command. Now, if you use this, now, Abisala was trying to do something the other time. He wrote something like save into brackets A, comma B, comma, then specify the file name. Now, if you want to use this save command, you have to append the object. Maybe there are several objects you want to save. You have to, it's going to be put in a list. So if just one object, you can just put A. If just one, but if you want more than one object, you put it into a list. Then it's going to save, as you can see here. Now, this is the implementation of the file command. You can see this guy now. Okay, you can see this guy now. So implementing the save command, you can write if there are objects, you can specify the object in kind of format. Say this guy and this guy. These three objects, file is equals to, then specify the file where you want the file to be saved. You go under desktop, then give it a name, .r data. To save the object by name, separating values using comma. Okay. Implementing save the command, save the object by referring to a list of names created by other means. So this is what this one is doing is this. So maybe you can't remember, you can't start scrolling through all the objects you have created, but you know, ls command is going to show you all the objects you have created so far in kind of a list. So, but you know that the objects you need to save has this kind of pattern. It starts from BF. So you can use this. So save. So put in the ls command any object that starts from BF, then put it in a list, then save it into this location with this name. So that's what this guy is saying. So this one is saying save everything specified by ls command. So it's saying, okay, save list which is equals to ls of all equals to true. That is, everything that is inside is save it and give it this particular file name. All right. So let's see the next slide. So to save the entire current session, say save.image file name. So this one is going to save like a kind of txt format of it. So for saving data to disk as text file, data can be transferred out of our by using the, okay, this one is done. And the command used depends on the data to be saved. Yeah. So the CSV file can use this. If it's not a CSV file, that's when they actually use this guy. So cat is to print. So for a single vector of values, you can use this command to be used. So for multiple column items containing several variables, so write the table or write the CSV. So what they mean by this is like a data frame kind of data you want to save, maybe a CSV file or a text file. Use this. So this save the entire section is in the form of a text file. Okay. So points to remember, we've talked about this concatenate your item. Numerical data can be simply entered by typing values separated into commas in this. Yeah. So okay, talk about this. Talk about this. Yeah, talk about this. Okay, talk about this. Plannings and directories are all cases to be all of you know that. Okay, talk about read your CSV. There's something. Okay. I'm going to talk about that in the practical session anyways. Okay, I think that's okay. Read the table, talk about read the table. To save to export your data, maybe that is saved in a particular object on the disk, you can do this. So we have talked about this also. Yeah. So let's just go to our lab environments for a practical session. So for what I've talked about so far, do you have any questions? I think I took less than 30 minutes to explain this. Okay, maybe when we go to the practical class, we will be able to ask questions very well. So let me just let me launch my VMware. So do anyone still have issue with the last map pages assignment? Or we just move into the R environment now?
Yeah, actually, I have the same problem with Aditro, but maybe since you said you have explained to Aditro, I will ask her.
Is that Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. Aditro she's going to be the tutor. She went through was it on Thursday she was here? No, it wasn't on Thursday, it was on Wednesday, I guess. She was here on Wednesday. She went through a lot. Hey, what's going on here? He's talking about your machine state. Can you see this? Yeah. I never experienced this in my life.
Probably you suspend instead of shut down.
Yeah, I think so. She is the user. So okay, let's just go to the R studio. Let me enlarge this. Yeah. Can you see my screen very well? I should just zoom in. I think Abisola has done justice to all these things. This is where you can see your history. You can import data set from this place. Then this guy, you can see the view of your data set. And this is where you can see packages, output of your plots and all that. And this is the console where the command is being generated, it's being executed. So don't mind this command. I was trying to do something. I can't even remember what I was trying to do. I knew I was trying to do something. Can you see my screen very well? Let me zoom in. If you guys don't talk, I was you can see my screen anyways. So I usually like writing my codes using the editor. I can't stress myself and be typing in console as I'm was doing. So I like using the code editor. So to open a new code editor, I don't want to tamper with this guy. So I'll just go to file, then new file, then R script. And going to open a new file, a new code editor for me. Please, are you guys following me? Let's know whether we are following me. You guys are not talking.
We're following.
Okay, as I said in when I was talking about matrix, vectors, and the data frame, I won't really talk much about it here, but I will try and do something before we go to it. So let's say I want to generate a matrix. So let me call it math. So you talk about before I go there, let me create a vector. So VC. I can use equal to, I can use less than and minus. Any which one works fine. So as I was saying the other time, let's say I want to create 1, 2, 3. Then if I should put a character, a string here, let's say hello. As I said earlier, I said R is going to convert the remaining 1, 2, 3 into a string because it cannot take 2 data types. So let me Control Enter is to run the current line. Control Enter. Then Control Shift Enter is to run the entire script. So that is that. So if I want to call the object now, just type VEC control enter. You can see at the output window here that 1, 2, 3 has been converted to a string. How do you know that? You can see it's enclosed with quotation mark. So that's what I was talking about the other time. Now let's look at matrices. How do you create matrices? You can do something like this. I can say MAT, then I'll type the function matrix. Then I'll put the data. Let's say I want to put a sequence from 1 to 20. I want to convert to a matrix. Now you can see this. It's showing highlighting what you can do with it. It said n row, which is the number of rows. You are going to specify the number of rows. N column, the other number of column by row. Are you saying you should consider the sequences by row, or you should take it by column? So if I say by row, if I specify the number of rows, say 5 now. If I say by row is equals to true, so it's going to take first 5 as the first row, then the next 5 at the second row. But if I don't specify, automatically by default, I was going to take it that you are doing it by column. So if I should don't specify by row, so it's going to take the first 5 as column 1, the next 5 as column 2. So let's say my row is, I want 5 rows and 4 columns. So why am I writing 5 rows and 4 columns? Because I know that this sequence, this vector has 20 elements. So it means that the length is 20. And the size of a matrix is the number of rows times number of columns, which is 5 times 4. So if you specify is the size of matrix that is bigger than the length of your data, your R is going to repeat the process from the beginning to fill in for that space that is not available. I will explain what this one means. So if I should run this, you see the output. So if I call MAT, you can see I didn't specify I didn't specify by row. So it took the first 5 as column 1, the next as column 2 in that manner. So I didn't specify the column name and the row name. I can specify the column name and the row name. So if I want to do that, I can come here and I can do something like this. So dim, I think dim names equals to, so it's going to be a kind of, so let me do it as a list, then specify the rows first. So let's say row is A, since I have 5 rows, A, then B, then C, then D, then E. Then I also specify the column, then comma, then put, maybe I want to call it X, Y. So there are 4 columns, Z and W. So let's run this. Let's run this. So if I should call MAT now, you can see it has specified the row names as A, B to E and X, Y, Z, W to the column names. Do we understand to this point, please?
Sorry, Mr. Emmanuel, can you go over that code line again?
So this is creating a matrix of a sequence 1 to 20. So 1, 2, 3 up to 20. So that vector has 20 elements. And if you are creating a matrix that has 20 elements, it means that size of matrix must be 20. So, and what's the way to calculate the size of a matrix? Number of rows and the number of columns. So the number of rows are specified here is 5. It means that the number of columns has to be 4 for it to take up the sequence you just created. So that's that. You can also specify here. I can say n row is equal to 5. You can say n column is equal to 4 to specify that okay, the number of rows is 5, the number of column is 4. But if I don't specify, you have to follow the pattern. Actually, it's a function, so you have to follow a particular pattern. So so this is the data. The next index is the number of rows. The next one is the number of column, and the next one I think is by row. If it's by row, you put maybe if you want to create a matrix, you follow a row, pick the vector in the row form or in the column form. So if you are saying specify that you want to pick it in the row form, so it means that the first four numbers here is going to fill in for this. So I will have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Then the next 6, 7, there are 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to align it according to row. But since I didn't specify here, it's going to pick it according to columns. So it's going to pick column 1, specify 1 to 5, column 2, 6 to 10 in this manner. So this doing names is to give the row and the column a name. So I'll put it in a list. So the first item is my row name, while the second item is my column name. Just like your matrix is if you say matrix of dimension n, m, n is the number of row and m is the number of column. Sorry, am I making sense to you guys?
Yes,
sir.
Making sense.
Okay.
Lots of sense.
Okay, so let's see something now. I want to repeat this guy. I want to repeat this again. Avoid typing. So I want to create another matrix that was going to have this. But I want to make it 5, 5. It means number of row is 5, number of column is 5. By row is false by default, since I didn't specify it. So this is going to be okay. My dim names, since I have 5 columns, so I have to specify the 5th column name. Let's say this one is V. Let me call this one W and let me call this one B. So now, since the size of the matrix you want to create is greater than the number of elements here, it's going to fill in the remaining space, the remaining 5 spaces, by repeating from the start. So the remaining 5 spaces will be 1 to 5, obviously. You see what I'm talking about. So let me call M81. You can see when you start from 1 to 5 and you got to 20, it has exhausted the element you created, the sequence you created. Then you start from the beginning to fill in the next column. Do you understand? So if I say, do you understand? I expect a response. You can unmute yourself, then talk, then you can move on.
I don't understand, please.
So if you don't talk, I'll just move on. Okay, no problem. So what I'm saying is that the dimension of the matrix you just created is 5 by 5 matrix, which is going to take in what? 25 elements, because the size is going to be the number of row times the number of columns. But the data you are putting into the matrix has 20 elements. So how is going to fill in for the remaining 5 elements? So it started filling in by column. So you pick the first 5 as column 1, the next 5 as column 2, then it has adjusted it to 20 here. So this place is supposed to be blank, but how is going to do what? The way I was going to do is it's going to start from the beginning of the matrix again. What the first 5, 1 to 5, then fill in here. So since there's nothing else, it's going to stop. You understand now?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
What if you don't complete? What if you don't complete the naming for the column?
Okay, what if you don't complete the naming for the column? I think you should generate a default name for it. So let's see. that. So let me run this. Okay, it gave me an error. It said length of dim names 2 not equal to the array extent. It gave me an error. So I was thinking it's going to give me a default name, but it didn't give me. So that's by the way. All right, thanks for the question. Now, this is the case where the size is bigger than the data. Let's now see the case whereby the data is bigger than the size. Okay, so let me put this 5 by 4 and increase this sequence to 25. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to remove this W so that I won't have a case where. So let's see this. So what's it saying? It actually created the guy for me, but gave me a warning that it says that data length 25 is not a submultiple or a multiple of the number of columns 4. What it's saying in essence is that Baba, you are trying to put a 1 liter. No, let me see. You are trying to put a 25 liter of water inside a 20 liter keg. So how do you want to fill in the remaining 5 liter that is 25 liter inside that keg? So it's trying to say like that you don't need to pass yourself. Now you see they tell you that. So let's see what I actually did. So it's performed the operation but gave you one. So what happened here? What actually happened here? You can see that the remaining 5 values, it chopped it off. So he didn't put it inside. So he just did for the first 20. Do you understand that? Does that make sense to us?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, moving on.
Sorry, let me ask. Yeah? My own didn't started the whole numbering again.
Your own did what?
Started your numbering again. Like you didn't give now any values. Started the numbering again from 1 to 5.
It didn't. Your number of columns, your dimension names, is it 5 or 4?
Okay, it's 5.
So yeah, I did it 4. So that's why.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So for data frames, as I said earlier, so I can convert these matches now. I can convert these matches to a data frame. How do I do that? It's just like you do in Python. If you want to convert a particular maybe matches or something, whatever to a data frame, use the pd.data frame to do that. There's a way you type it's pd.data frame. Then you specify what you want to convert to. So it's a method in pandas typing. So that's by the way. So so let's say I want to convert maths 1 to a data frame. So let's say I can say df. Now don't get to attach to df. I know you guys are used to df in Python. df is not a compulsory way of naming a data frame. It's just trying to say it's a data frame. df is a name. I can say ap. I can say abc. I can give it any other name. So I'm just trying to some people might get attached that it's only df can use to name a data frame. It doesn't matter. It's just a variable name. So what's the method? Data.frame. Then I would put in what I want to convert to data frame, which is math1. So if I should run this, so I'll call the.
Who said it?
This is not a data frame. What is that? So this is now a data frame. This is now a data frame. So if I want to verify that is a data frame, it's still a data frame or a matrix. So I can say I can check the class, say class of this guy. Then I run it. So you can see that it gave me a data frame. So if you want to check for math1, class of math1, you see there's a matrix, as you can see underneath here. Okay, that's by the way. You can also perform operations on matrices, data frames, and the right. So before that, I will talk about indexing before moving on. Let me look at the time. So I'll stop by. You guys should. I cannot finish everything. So let's say let me call
Sorry,
the math. Yep.
what does data frame mean?
Data frame is your Excel kind of data. Excel data is a spreadsheet kind of data. So it's convert it to your spreadsheet kind of data. So this guy is in form of like a spreadsheet kind of data compared to matrices and all. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So I can index item in whether it's being a vector or a list. So I didn't talk about a list. So let me try and generate a list. So you can see what a list looks like. This is my list. I can use I will use the list function to generate a list. So I can say fruit is equals to apple, apple, then orange, then maybe purple. Is this how to spell purple? I don't know. Comma, then cashew, and let's say banana island. So comma, then I want to specify another one. So I didn't put the C here. Sorry. You have to forget. You have to shouldn't forget that. So let me say I want to specify numbers. A number from 1 to 20. I want to get another class numbers 1, 20. So let me call it so I don't need to write this. Say 1, 20 like this in this format. Okay, maybe I want to countries. So maybe countries. And you enter a list of countries. I mean, you can see I'm using equal to, I'm using less than, minus. It doesn't matter. Any I want to go about it, it's not a time. Let's say Brazil. Let's say I don't like Nigeria, so I'm not putting Nigeria here. Any of us that like Nigeria here? Thailand. Wait, is Nigeria even a country? Is Nigeria a country? So let me just run this.
Yes,
So yeah,
it's a country.
so that generated the list for me. So let's see. So this is the list. You can see the way it's done the list. So this is food, this is number 1 to 20, this is countries and the rest of them. Wait, I don't understand. What is okay? It's fine. So if I can index any of these, be it vector, be it matrices, be it list, be it data frame. So let me start from vector. I created the vector VEC. Let's say I want to call this hello. Now indexing in Python starts from 0, but indexing in R starts from 1. So in Python, if you want to call this fourth element here, it's going to be 4 minus 1. That's you are going to index 3. You're going to put 3. But in R, it starts from 1. So this is index 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just say VEC. If I should put this should give me hello in this manner. So that's by the way. So let's move on to matrices. So let me see math. Let me call math. So this is math. Now, for example, I might want to call let's say I want to return all the rows, but I want to have just the third and the fourth column. Now you can index by position and you can index by column or row name. So let's see how that goes by the way. So the rows comes first, then the column. So if I should put a comma here, so the first index is for the rows. So first, if I didn't put anything here, it's going to assume that you are calling all the rows. Okay, but I want to call the third and the fourth column. So I can do something like this: 3 to 4. So this is going to be 3 to 4. But in Python, if you should do this, it's going to return 3. It's going to return index 3 only. Am I making sense? Do you think it? Do you think that is going to return? It's going to pick 3. So it's not going to reach out to the end. So if you want it to pick 3 to 4 in Python, you're going to write 3. You're going to write it this way. Is that how it works in Python? People that used to work with Python, yeah, Python gurus. Nobody. Okay, moving on. So this is going to return.
Where did you hear that?
How do I get what?
I didn't hear what you said last.
The fourth one.
So I said people that used to do Python, if you should do this in Python, maybe you need to return column 3 to 4. No, this in R is going to return column 3 to 5, but in Python it's not going to get to 5, it's going to return 3 to 4. Is that how it is?
Yes, that's how it is.
So moving on, this is going to return all the rows.
Column 3, column 4 to return, column 4 to 5. Because index starts from 0 in Python.
Yes, exactly. So exactly. So if I should run this, it's going to return all the rows, but the third and the fourth column. So I should expect this Z and W column, that is 11 to 15 and 16 to 20. As you can see here, good. So I can also tell it the number of rows it should return. I can come here then. Okay, let's say for column 3 and 4, I want it to return maybe the first to the third rows. To the third row. So this is going to return A, B, C, Z, W, as you can see here. Now, so I want to give us a 1-minute challenge. Please, you can tell us this is the matrix, this is the original matrix. You can tell me how I can generate. Okay, before I go there, I told you guys I can generate. Okay, I don't want to go there first. How do I generate the first? I want this guy to return. I want this guy to return the first and the third and the fifth rows corresponding to the second and the fourth row. So how can I do that? In the fourth and the third column. So let me write what I'm asking. MAT return the first, third, fifth row.
Repeat your question.
I'm typing into corresponding to the second and the fourth column. So this is my question. So I want this MAT to return the first, third, and the fifth row corresponding to the second and fourth column. So I want it to return A, C, and E corresponding to Y and Z. So it should return 6, 8, 10, 15, 18, 20. So who can what is that? You can just tell me what type. I'll just be typing it. I don't want to see me now. Anyone else to bail us out? Hello, am I seeing this class?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, so here we are here.
Okay.
Yeah, we are trying. Let's try it down first.
Yeah, hacking it.
Okay. 1 minute to hack, 1 minute to hack. Is it time?
Sorry, Mr. Emmanuel, can you scroll down on the console?
Okay. This like this.
Yeah, scroll down.
This is down. It has reached the
Your console, not
yes,
your
down.
console.
Is it this console or this Is this the console now? This is the console. This
Okay,
I'm
that's
down.
Okay. So yeah, let me try. I don't know if I can try this. No.
Anything that comes up to your head now, anything that comes up to you.
Okay, so I have my own, but are we supposed to? Okay, don't worry. Sorry, I think I got scared. This indexing, it works. Was it work both on data from our metrics? It works both on data from our metrics, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Can I try something?
Okay, go on.
Math.
Okay, I'm open.
I have a feeling this is going to be so wrong, but anyways, math one column 5. Are you on it?
Math,
Are you
Step about saying it.
math what?
math? You put the square bracket. Math square
Okay,
bracket. Have you done it? I can't
yeah.
see it. I can't see it.
You can't see my screen.
Yeah. Okay. Math square bracket open.
Okay, I have it already.
Okay. One column 5.
1:5.
Yeah. Then comma 2.
Comma 2.
Then
No, this is
comma.
dot 2. Comma 2. Okay.
Is it dot 2? I'm trying to make the step size to be 2.
I've
Then
given it
comma. Okay,
comma.
comma. You said what do you want? You want 2? Yeah. You want 2 and 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So two column. Can you do 2:4.2 again?
2:4.
Dot 2.
Is it dot 2 or comma 2?
I want you to have step sizes of 2. That's what I'm trying to do. Is it dot 2 or comma 2?
I believe it should be.
Sorry?
I don't know what they're talking about now.
Okay, hi. I don't know, man. Okay, dot 2. Comma 2 dot
Amazing
2.
Python knowledge.
Relax. Yeah, no.
Okay,
Let
dot
me
2,
see.
I mean.
I
Dot
think
2.
it's dot 2. I'm not certain. I think it's dot or comma.
So I
First
should put
dot
dot
is
2.
with
I should
comma
put dot 2
actually in
here.
Python.
Comma 2. Try comma 2. Try comma 2. Then,
Okay, you said comma 2. So this
okay,
place
I'm
will be
not knowing.
comma
I'm going to.
2. Okay, let
Is
me
it
run
comma
it.
2? Okay, run it. This is going to be horrible.
Okay, this is what it
Uh-uh. Why? No, I can't see what is bringing. Oh, error.
is. I don't
Okay,
know.
man. Um,
If it was Python now, I've just used okay. Double square
I,
brackets only works in data frame, right?
I know. Sorry, Mr. Emmanuel. Let's try something else. How about 1:3:5, comma 2:4? No, 2 2:4. I don't know if it's speaking of it.
Like this. This is something like this.
Hold on. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. This is what you've got. You got the one anyways. Then numerical expression has 5 elements. Only the best to use.
Sorry, please, Mr. Emmanuel, can you assist us in
Just
telling us
assist
the
us,
code
please.
for stepping?
So anybody has an idea again? Anybody has an idea that wants to go? How to do about it?
You just said our options.
Okay, you guys have listed your options. Okay, now. So let's see. So this way, there are different kind of ways you can go about this, guys. There are different kind of ways you can go about this. So you can concatenate your index as a vector. So what do I mean? So the first two, the rows will be concatenate 1,3,5. Then your column concatenate it in a vector form 2,4. You can do this.
What am I going to do?
So basically, we'll just concatenate we're missing.
You can just imagine.
So so suppose what you want to generate, maybe you have this match is very large, whereby you want to generate for the odd columns and you want to generate for the even columns. So what do you think you can do? Instead of, you can't be typing 13579, you don't know how many numbers you want to type, you are going to exhaust yourself. So what way do you think you can do this that is going to make a lot of sense to you? Yeah, I'm listening.
Wait, you said what?
So let's say you want to generate, maybe the matrices you have is very large, but you can't be typing, you can't afford to be typing 1357, and maybe you want to generate for even columns, you can't afford to be typing 246. So what we can do to generate for odd rows and even columns?
Using sequence. Using sequence.
Okay, let's so how do I go about that?
Okay, since you want to do 135, you can just do maths.
Okay,
maths square bracket.
Okay.
Then SCQ open.
Like this?
Yes.
Okay.
SCQ open brackets, open round brackets.
Another bracket?
No, it's okay like that. 1:5, then comma 2.
1:5,
2.
Okay.
Then
okay.
Go after the brackets, then comma.
Okay.
TQ 2:5, comma. Wait.
2:5. Okay, 2:5 this week.
No, 2:4. Then comma 1. 2:4, comma 1. Sorry.
2:4, comma 1. Is it comma 1 or comma 2?
Comma 2. Sorry, comma 2. Yeah, comma 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Like this,
comma.
Okay,
Yes.
that's not. Okay. So this is what I have. This is what I have. So you are very right. You are very right. But the only thing is the column. You are not supposed to put column here. It's comma. It's comma here.
Comma. Yeah, that's true.
So this is going to work fine. Yeah. So that's by the way. So what is the thing you want to do? You talk about matrices. You can index a data frame. You can index a list. So the way we just did it in matrices can bring the idea to data frames. So let's talk about list. How do I index it in list? I can index with, so you guys can index with the column names too. So you can just concatenate the column names you want to pick in that manner, in that regard. So let's say I want to pick from this my list that I created. So let me first of all call the my list. Let's say I want to pick the fruit vector. I want to pick the fruit vector. I should be able to do this. This should call the first item in the list, which is fruit, in this manner. I can also index by the name of the vector in this manner. I'll still achieve the same result. So let's say now, I want to pick inside my list. I want to pick fruit. This is my list again. This is my list. So inside my list, I want to pick fruit, and I want to pick, what do I call it? I want to pick the first 3 elements in fruit. Then I want to come to countries and pick the last 2 elements. So how do I get that? How do I achieve that? I don't know. Let's try and explore that. So how do I pick the first 3 elements in fruit and also pick the last elements in countries and do it as a result? So who's going to be that here? I'm waiting. Are you guys still thinking about it? Are you guys think about it?
What's the question again?
Okay, this is the question. I want to pick the first three elements in food. And I want to pick the first three elements in food and the last two elements in countries. How do I go about that? What did you say? Wait, am I still in this class? Am I still in this class?
Yes, you are. We are thinking.
Okay, nobody wants to talk. So I'll help us out with something. You guys go and do the assignments. We'll explore. So if I want to pick, let's say the first three elements in food, I can do this. Then I'll put a square bracket and another square bracket. Then I can just index it by 1. Then I will come outside this bracket, then index this. So it's saying that pick the first three items in the first index in the list. So this gives me apple, orange, and purple. So you can write something around this and generate the one that will give you the first three in fruits and also the last three in countries. So that's by the way. So let's go to today's work.
Can do a triple because is there you want to pick first three elements in fruits and first three elements and last three elements in
What's going on? Hope everything is
Sorry, you can concatenate.
You can walk your way around it. So let me see what I've not talked about today. I've talked about subsetting matrices like indexing and all of that. So you can also use the print function to print the result. Okay, I didn't talk about one thing. You can also change the entries in your what do you call it? In your data, maybe matrices, base. So let's say like this country now, you can see there's no African country here. Maybe I want to change this Ghana to let me say USA. I want to change this Ghana to USA. I can just come in to the second element, which is 2 with this. Then what's the index of this guy? 4. So I want to call this to be equals to I want to change this to USA. I want to change this guy to the USA. Yeah. So let me click on enter. So let me call my list again. So that was okay, man. I don't want to do this straight anyways. So this is equal to.
Sorry. Hello,
Yeah.
Emmanuel.
Yes, yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What's the question?
How do you reference the last element of a list? Yeah.
So I have to do it. So I want to do that thing I did again. I'm just like avoiding the stress. So
I don't get you.
sorry, hold on. I want to do something.
The network is not working again.
So go on with your question. What's the question exactly?
Yeah, I said, how do you reference the last element in a list?
The
And
last
the list is
element.
too long. You don't know the exact number or the index, so you just want to call the last element.
Okay, you can do this. Another trick you can use is you can use the max. You can use the max function. Like what do I mean by that? You can also use. I think. Let me check whether you can use this. Take my list. Oh, sorry. I typed tally. Okay, I've not used this before. It's going to return at the first. It's going to return at the first. Like the last five. Let me say I want to return just one value. I think I should be able to do this. So this is going to return the last item in the list. So you have countries, which is this guy. What is your question actually?
Okay, that's exactly what I was asking. I've seen it. I was
Okay,
thinking, from Python you can use -1 or something. So, but
okay.
it's not working here.
If you use minus, this is how minus work in this place. Now let me come here and do what. Let me tell you what minus. If I should do this, is it this way? So let me try and run this. I can't really remember. Minus is going to look at. Let me tell you the intuition about it. So what this guy is going to do, if I do minus and I concatenate 135, this is going to exclude row 135 and return 2 and 4. So that's how minus works in REL. So you can see it excluded A, C, and E. So it excluded the first and the third and the fifth column. So that's how actually minus work in this environment.
Yes. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm trying to do something, but my head is not good to me. Sorry, my head is not just good to me. I'll come back to this later. We'll talk about it later. So let's not just waste much time. So I've talked about so many things. So I think the most important thing to get back here is using the scan function. Let's see how it works. Scan. Let's see what I want to put there is character. Am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to do this? Is that the way I'm supposed to type it? You guys have been following the class, so you're the one that's supposed to tell me what to do. Sir. This is the way I'm supposed to type it. If I want to, what I want to put is a character. Hello.
Are you deleting things you've
Hi.
done before? Because I don't understand them.
What did you say? What's your question?
I said, are you deleting things you've done before in the source? Because it's hard for me to find the replacing something in your list, in my list.
The replacement stuff that I talked about.
Yes, I can't find it again in your source.
Oh, sorry. I'll come back to that. So I'm asking about this. Is that how I'm supposed to write this line? Is that how I'm supposed to write it?
Blam,
Is this a
blam.
you don't know, just think you're not following the class. Let's see what this is going to be. So you can see what I'm talking about. Can you see the concept? Hello. Okay, let me just see what. So this is telling me I can type. So
I can type anything.
this means I can type my character, my input here, instead of having to do that manually. Let's see how this goes. This one okay. Done. Let's see. Let me see something. So enter. So that's how you go about that. That's how you go about that. To input characters manually instead of having to type them. So this one is, by the way. Let's see another kind of scan function. I might want to say, okay, maybe what is equals to character, then maybe I want to put this. I want it to be separated by comma. So it means I have to put something like this. So it means if I want to type here, now, if I should do this, you see what is going to be done anyways. If I should do this, then press enter and press enter. Look at what it just did. Did you see what it just did?
No.
You didn't see, can you see the result underneath here? Hello.
It joined everything together as one string or as one
Yes,
character.
because you specify that you'll be separating your character with a comma. So if you are not separating with a comma, it's going to assume that this guy is a single character. So if you want to say that, okay, this one is different from this one, you have to put a comma. And it's going to say that, okay, this is one, this is another one, this is another one, in that one. So let me do that again. So I have to say, I have to type in here, sorry. I have to come here and type then MON and CUE, then WED, then CUR, and the likes. Then enter. So you can see it has get 4 items. They take this one up here, this another, in that format. Sorry, am I making sense at all?
Sorry, but now you still specified the separator as comma. So why didn't it?
Yes, I specified separator as comma, then I inputted the value again, separating it by comma. If I don't separate it as comma, it's going to take everything as a single character. As you can see here, I didn't put comma. Then he said he read one item. So he's taking all of this as one item. But since I put a comma, so this is one, this is another one, this is another one, this is another one, making 4 items. So do you understand?
Yes, understood.
So let me see. I want to see. Oh, okay. I want to say something. I don't really know. I don't really know. If I do ls, I should be able to see all the objects I've created so far in this manner. So yeah, I did this before. So that's the idea. So it's the ones I've been creating, where's it? I can't even find it with the update I've been creating since. Okay, there's my list here. Okay, there is you have it here, you have it here. Let's say I'm trying to figure out something. Let me see my current working directory. Things get WT. So we have home/HT user. So I'm trying to figure out something that I've not tried before. I should be able to list out. I'm sure I can list out the items in my current working directory. No, it's into this. There's a way the way I has to do it. I can't remember. There's a way you can bring out what you have in the current working directory. So let me see. I want to run the file.choose command. So let me put it here. So let's say I have a file in my current working directory or in my file explorer that I want to read into the R environment. So I can say, let me say file name, file underscore name. File underscore name. I'll say it's going to scan file dot choose. So I want to go and bring out the file from the file working directory. Let me open the Control Enter to run the current line. So it's going to pop up this, as I've said earlier. So I can browse my Explorer and pick up the data set. So let's say I want to pick this guy. I want to know this guy file.cs. So let's open it. Okay, I have an error. This kind of blah blah blah. But whatever. So I think there are some things I have to specify here. So let me say what is equals to character. So let's do this again. So let me import this guy. It's saying read 5 items. Okay, let's see what's inside. Underscore name. So let me call it. So I have this guy. So these are what is inside. You have the and in this manner. So I have this data set inside it. So I think I should be able to do something like this too. Let me come here and put, since the comma separated by the same say is separated by comma. So the guy can know that what I want to feed into the environment is a comma separated value. So I'll do this again and I'll pick employee CSV and open it. You can see we got 35 items compared to what I have here, get 5 items. So the way it's going to read it, when you specify these parameters, you might not get the exact thing that's inside the classes. So let's see. So you have this guy now. Hello, are we making sense? Let me go to the terminal and see. I even see how the guy is. Let us just say. So let's see what's inside the file in the first place. I think the file is under data sets. So let me see. I want to print that file in my terminal here. I even compare the other. This guy is not giving me what I want. I can say cat, then specify the location of where the file is. So home slash and home slash. I think that data sets is the user slash data sets and slash. See, what's the name of the file again? I think employees dot csv and enclose it. So this such by direction. Let me go and pick in inside. Let me go and pick in inside data set. Okay, it's capital P. So it's capital P. So let me do that again. Okay, I have this. So let's compare what we have in our environment. It should be exactly the same. I'm opening Eclipse. So you have Rabi, Miles, Ubas, Mozart, Shanta. Thank you. Mobile Shanta. So you can see exactly what's inside here. That's how it got it out here. It says that the next item in the second column is empty, but you have all these correspond to what I have here. So in the fourth row, you have the third column to be empty also. As you can see here, it's also empty. Then all being equal, all things being equal, the last column, the last row to the last column is empty. You can see that it's highlighted as empty here. So that's how to properly fetch in data to the environment using the scan function. One last thing I want to do. Let me try this. Sorry.
Sorry. Hello, Emmanuel.
Yes.
I don't understand. How did this command know this was the particular file it should read or something? Was there any way you specified the name of the file? Because I can't see.
Yes, I did specify. Look at this now. This is what actually happened. File name is equals to scan file.choose. File.choose allow you to go into the file explorer and select data set. So what here is whether it's going to be a character, the item is going to be a character. So the item is also separated by a comma. So if I should run this command, it's going to pop up your file explorer. So you can go to where the file is, click it and open it, then going to save it into this file name. Do you understand?
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't see where the pop-up came before. So
let me click it and let me run it again. You see, I'm running this line. I'm on this line. So Ctrl Enter. You can see that it's popped up to scan.
oh, okay.
So I can go to the place where the data is. So this is the data I fetched in employees.csv. I can say I want to use this guy lines.csv. Then open it. Then so this one gets 31,960 items. I mean I don't want to. If I should open this item, it's going to reach a limit. So it's going to tell you that okay, the number of particular row is not returned because it cannot return everything in this output window. So that's not it. So it's reached a particular limit, like okay, omitted 21,960 inches. So this is what is inside the data. This is what's inside. So yeah.
Ooh.
So I want to use ordinary scan. I'm not specifying characters. So let's say I'm coming here. So I can also use ordinary scan. So I'm coming here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Then enter again. Then you can have this. So you can have a set of numbers also. So that is also by the now you can use read.csv, read.table to bring data sets into the environment. So let's see that how that's going to go. So while so I'm not typing here. I don't like that. So let me come here. file name. I know what's called file name. I want to read the employees data set into the environment. So I'll say read.csv since I know it's a CSV file. Then into bracket, I'll specify the file. But remember, the employees data is not inside the current working directory of the app. So let's first of all see. Okay, let's know the current working directory of the app. So get wd home/sd user, that's working directory. So if I want to pick the employees data, which is inside the data set folder. So data set folder is inside HD user. So your HD user is like your C in the Windows environment. It's like your normal C, when you type C. So it's the home directory. So then inside the C, you now have your desktop, you have your documents, your download, and all the likes of them. So I'll specify the path, then /home/hd user. So inside this user, you have our data set. Your data set. So inside the data set, you now have that data you want to pick, which is employees .tsv. You don't need to specify and come and put separated is equals to comma. It's not necessary because you're using a read.csv command. So you should automatically have sense and know that what you want to read is CSV. But unless you go and put something like that is CSV, it's CSV, the comma separated value inside this one. So automatically this is not needed. Then I'll run this guy. So it means it has imported the employees.csv file into the other environment. So I can call it using the AMP. Then you have this. So this is the guy. This is that guy. When you use the scan, whatever. This is that guy that was empty. There's nothing here. So this place too, there was nothing here. You can see. But look at this guy now. Look at what happened here. You notice what happened here. First of all, let me come and run this guy. Employees.csv. So let me call the file name. Ravi is a row. This is another row. This is another row. This is another row. This is another row. But when we ran this took the first row as an header. So it took the first row as an header. While this is not true, we don't have an header in the employees.csv data. So to avoid or to correct this error, I think you have to specify another parameter, which is I think header. You have to specify header is equals to false. I think you should be able to do this. False. This should work. So if I should run this again, then I should open this. Then it's going to omit that guy. Then give it a default header here. Give the default header. Then you have this guy. Am I making sense? Please. Am I making sense? Before we move on. So we have limited time.
Yes.
So let's say I want to I don't want this place. Let's say I want to omit this guy because this second column does not make any sense to me. I might want to remove this guy. Though I want to enter another part of it. So I'll just end this note. I don't want this second column. So I'm talking about dealing with missing values. Anyway, I don't want this second column. So how do I do that? I'll just specify EMP. Like the way you index, I need all the rows. Then I want the first, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh. So I want EMP to be this. This should omit the second column for me. So I don't have this second guy here anymore. So I don't have this second guy here anymore. But I think this is stressful. I think this is stressful. Or don't you think this is stressful?
Yeah, it is because Abisala was using the na.omit command the other time.
Yes, I get. So I want to insert this guy again. I want to run this guy again. Then this should have
Or just like before, when you did minus C, you can just done minus C bracket 1.
yes. This guy is thinking. You guys should clap for him. So I'll just do minus. So I don't need to do minus C. I can just put minus 1. Since it's just only one. Since it's just only one. It's just only one column I want to remove. So I don't need to put it as a vector. I can just do this. Okay, this is the second column. So I'll be minus 2. So let me run this. So EMP. Yeah. Absolutely. I hope you understand this. Hello.
No question, sir. If you do the C omit, if you do the NA dot omit, won't it mean that with that we still have that column? Or I don't know. I'm just asking. If we do the NA dot omit
Let's
instead,
try
what will happen?
Let's try that. Let me just say EMP NA dot omit. Goes through. Sorry. I want to do this.
Did it was EMP is equals to NA dot omit into brackets EMP.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to do that.
Okay, let's just see, or maybe we call it into another variable. Let's just see what will come out of it.
How did you call it again? Mine is not putting. EMP is equals to what?
EMP is equals to NA dot omit round bracket the NA dot omit, then round brackets EMPS. No comma, shouldn't any comma, just the object alone.
So okay, this is what I don't want to do. I don't want to do this. I just want to do this. Yeah, exactly. So I think we've exhausted our time. I have a meeting like in 30 minutes time now. That's what is going on in my head now. I'm actually out of this class, like spiritually, I'm out of this class. So I believe
That's good to know.
That's good to know. Who said that's good to know? So please, do we have any questions so far what we have done? So though we have not been able to do so many things. So let's say I want to save this guy, these new employees, blah blah blah. I want to save it. So let me just end this on this note. So I can do write.csv. I'll save EMP. So I'll say file is equals to employees dot CSV. Okay, I think it should work. So I might want to call on this data again. So let me say.
Sorry, capital E. Capital E.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I gave it another name. So this is going to save it in my current working directory. So let's say I want to call it. I want to call the file I just saved now. Just CSV. So put it in a colon, a quotation mark. So this is the content that I saved. So I just read it again. So it has been saved into the current working directory. So I can use it anytime instead of using this one that has no values. Do you understand? Are we clear? Are we clear on this?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think that's the end of today's session.
I have a question. So what if you don't save it the edited document now as employees.tsv with the small e? Are you trying to tell me that if you reload the whole thing, if you reload the employees.tsv, like the initial one that we used, the unedited one, will it come back as that?
If I should read this guy, it's going to come back as the old one. This guy is going to return this. You know, this one is in different working directory. This one is a data set working directory. This is going to save in your current working directory, which is home/user. This is another file entirely, which is called the employees.csv. So if I should come here, I'm going to see it. So let's go. You save it in the current working directory. That's home. This here. You should be able to see it here. You can see it. This is the file we saved. Employees.csv. So this is the one we saved. The one we used is inside this data set folder, which is this guy. So that's by the way. What's your question exactly?
You've answered it.
So let's say I might want to save this work. Maybe I want to save this work. This is my edited, wherever. Though actually, I think if you should open it again, you should mute it. But I just want to save it. I want to save this script. So I can use Control S as in your Windows. Then I can call it class 1_R. I don't know. So I want to save it in HD user. So let me save it. So that has been saved as class 1_R. It's a .R extension. So it's a .R extension. So I might want to, if I want to work on this guy again, maybe I want to see something that I did here last time. Let me see. So Control O to open the file that I just finished with, which is this file. Then open. And you go to open it. This place. So let me close it. It's already open. Let me close it. So I want to open that thing I worked on. Control O. Then come here, click on this and open it. So this is what I have. So this is what I have done so far. I think this answers one question that someone was asking a bit before. Hello, are we still in this class?
Yes.
Yes, please continue.
Yeah.
All right, okay, we are done with today's class. I guess we all understand everything we've done so far.
Wow.
What's that? What's that sound? Okay, I want to quit my house studio. I want to quit my house studio. I believe you don't have any questions. Okay. I've saved this there. Save. All right, thank you. I will be there.
Thank you.
I log out. Then I shut down. All right, thanks for attending to this class. See you guys next time.
Thank you, sir. Alright, sir.
Bye, everyone.
So, okay, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you want to say something, Mr. Manuel?
Yes, some people here we are supposed to meet to after the engineering class. So some people here. I hope you guys know, Sha.
Mr. Manuel,
You said what?
this your segmented,
So, some people,
it's your segmented business.
some people we have businesses. We have business at the end of the engineering class. So I'm just trying to remind them.
No
I
problem.
didn't get what you said. Oh no.
I said, me and some people we have business after the engineering class. Some people here, I think they are not really. All of them are gone. Some people are there. All right, now.
Okay. Okay. All right.
All right.
Yes.
We will leave ourselves. Haba.
I don't understand. You guys should leave now. You guys should leave. Maybe I'll be leave this room. I beg. Leave this room.
We'll leave.
Ah, I tell you should leave. Is it my boss? Anything you want to talk about, go and talk about the picture. I beg. I beg. Yala, I'm moving now. Thank you.